most of the plants are just being used for, cosmetics or medicinal purposes right now. And, the textile industry also requires hectares and hectares of hemp to grow, to be, churned into fiber and then into yarn and XYZ. So I feel we are at the brim of changing, because hemp is such a robust crop. It can grow in so many different climatic conditions. So I feel it's a great bet for India to start with the growing and then...
Hey guys, it's Mandi with Global Hemp Association. I wanted to say thank you so much for joining. I'm excited about the opportunity to build a relationship and connect this supply chain. I mean, after all, that's why we started the association. Our association was built on the foundation of connecting supply chain, building relationships, and helping you grow your business. Anyone from farmers, manufacturers, and distributors, people that are passionate about the supply chain, and those creating products selling into biofuels, plastics, textiles, construction, and building materials.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm really excited to be here today talking about hemp textiles. And Shripat, I love your pillows behind you, so I'm really excited to show those off. But before we do, let us know where you're joining from. Say hello, ask some questions. I love interacting and getting to know you guys as listeners, so please drop a note, say hello. But yeah, without further ado, well, before I even move on real quick, I want to remind everybody to get onto the NOCO website and buy your tickets. We've had so many, hundreds of people nominate different professionals within this industry doing awesome things. So get on the NOCO website or our Global Hemp Association website. You can scroll down to the middle of the first page, and there is a link to nominate other companies that are doing great things. Carbon sequestration, economic impact, leadership, agriculture. So get on, nominate people, and then we hope to see you there. Make sure that you get your ticket. We are selling out fast. There's a few tables left. Okay, there's actually like half of the tables left. We're still a month away. And so without selling out or making sure that you guys know about them so you don't sell out, let us know you're here. I'll highlight you. Make sure that you're dropping in to say hello. And Shripat, tell me a little bit about what you're doing. Where are you in this process? And what really lights your fire to even get into sustainable products and hemp products?
First of all, good morning, and thank you, Mandi, for having me here.
Yeah.
It's a great honor. I would like to start with my introduction. I'm basically 30 years old. My name is Shripat Jagirdar. I'm from Mumbai, India. And my brand is Weaving Vibes. We basically manufacture sustainable fabrics, one of the main fabrics being hemp. And just a little to tell you about my journey as to why and how I got to manufacturing hemp. I feel I didn't choose to get into sustainable manufacturing. It kind of chose me in a way, in terms of I was born into textiles, where my grandfather was a pioneer in starting the shirting division for a brand in India called the Raymond's Group, which is still one of the top 5 companies in India. And then with my father in the 80s starting his own weaving factory, there were always talks about reed, pick, GSM, colors, weaves, through my whole childhood. So listening to all of that, finishing my graduation, doing a diploma in textiles, I started my journey in 2014, where I joined my father's business. And in those 4 years, I learned a lot about, polyester and the harm it does and the widespread effect it has.
Yeah.
And that kind of made me think as to there has to be a better alternative to polyesters and their blends. And that's when I think around 2017 in India, plastic started getting banned in grocery stores, which got replaced by, polyester bags. Straws started getting banned, and, the whole sustainable wave basically took on. And that's when I felt I need to get on this boat as well, because not only is it great for the environment, it's great for the future as well. And it's a little cliche, but I was in Amsterdam in 2018 with a couple of friends, where I ended up going to the Hemp Museum, where they have various kind of, hemp products, from the flower to the stem to various kind of seeds and everything. And that was my eureka moment, because I remember seeing a hemp fabric and my textile brain just took off. And I was like, wow, I can make this. I just need to get my hands on the right yarn.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So I want to ask you just really quick, talk to me a little bit about the weaving and textile industry in India, because you guys are really leading the charge, from what I understand, on capabilities to weave and in the textile space, the amount of fabrics and the designs that are coming out of your area.
correct. The industry in general is large. So,
Okay.
like, India produces one of the largest cotton crops in the world. So, in terms of factory, textiles started in India back in the days when, the Britishers had control over India. That's when, the first factories came up. So, India has a lot of knowledge, a lot of heritage in textiles. So that is why you see, there's this area called Bhiwandi, which they call the Manchester of India, because that is the place where there are over thousands of factories, thousands and lakhs of looms manufacturing most of the fabric that's, eventually ending up getting garmented in Bangladesh and spread all over the world in different brands. So India does have a very strong hold in terms of manufacturing, not only in terms of woven textiles, also knits, also agro textiles, also technical textile. It's vast. It's a lot. So I am actually taking advantage of that and kind of trying to make a change with not producing the non-sustainable fabrics, by not only producing sustainable fabrics, but maintaining sustainable ethics while running the factory as well. Because I feel that's also a very important factor that normally gets negated in a lot of places.
That didn't even, it's kind of funny, and I'm a little bit embarrassed to admit how disconnected I was from the dollar t-shirt that was being purchased at the stores, and where that, who pays for that, the number of hands or the number of people that touch that piece of fabric before we purchase it in the store. So I was actually going to ask you, what is sustainability to you, and what does that really mean when you talk about the textile space and understanding the chemicals and that are used, and the staff or the employees, like you said, who touch and work on the projects. So yeah, can you speak to that whole, without greenwashing, right? There's so much greenwashing that happens.
Correct. So, I wouldn't want to generalize it. I can just speak with my personal experience. For me and the people I've met in India who are also manufacturing some of the other sustainable products, all of us are into, I feel sustainability is a lifestyle. It can't just be a part of you. It kind of encompasses you in terms of your living, your food habit, and makes you think at terms of disposal of waste. So overall, it's a kind of a holistic, journey. It's not only that I'm doing sustainable fabrics and driving a petrol or diesel car. It's not only I'm making sustainable fabrics and paying less to my employees, doing over hours. It has to be everything. So a lot of people, when they come to me, they're like, no, your fabrics are expensive. I'm like, they're expensive because I'm treating my workers the right way. I'm giving them all the right wages, and I'm following all the AZO-free dyes, all the norms, all the GOTS certifications. So all that adds price. But the benefit is that hemp, as we all know, is the strongest fiber in the world. So you get longevity. If I tell you as a grocery store, you replace your polyester bags with my hemp bags, and that person who buys it for his entire generation, he does not need to take another bag to the grocery. That is the difference that we are trying to build awareness into people, that, fast fashion has kind of spoiled this entire thing, because people generally, want to wear a piece of shirt or t-shirt 6-7 times and then throw it away, not bothering about what happens to it. So we need to give this entire picture from farm to fashion and disposal of fashion. I think that entire picture is a very important picture that needs to be presented.
I totally agree with you at the fast fashion. And again, how disconnected I was. And I give credit back to hemp, because I feel like it really revealed the opportunity that we have to make such a big impact and a change in that supply chain, to sustainability.
Yep.
It's awesome. So talk to me a little bit about your company. Where did you start? Where are you now? What are some of the visions that you have?
Correct. So we actually started with the R&D in 2018. is when I flew back and I realized I got to do something with this. But it took me a year to, find a responsible yarn source to get, all the credentials, all the certifications, the entire, because we work with 100% transparency and we believe in that. So we wanted to work with manufacturers that have the entire farm to yarn kind of, documented stages. So it took us time over there. Once we got the yarns, I mean, like most businesses, definitely it didn't work out. We had to do a lot of trials in terms of, not only weaving the fabric, but getting the right finish, the right fall with the right, non-hazardous chemicals and all of those things. So we started commercial production and selling in mid 2020. So you can call us kind of a pre-COVID company.
Yeah.
It's just been 1.5 years. But in these 1.5 years, we've really grown. By that, I mean, we started off with only targeting the shirting industry, typically for men's. But within, a few months, we got into women's wear, we got into kids wear and men's wear. Then in a few months, we got into home decor for bed sheets, pillow covers, cushion covers, sofa covers. And now we've got into the luggage department as well for, as I mentioned, shopping bags, grocery bags, pouches, school bags, and a lot of more products. And I feel it's endless. The possibilities are just going to increase. I've heard about, yoga mats, and there are so many more possibilities. So I feel hemp basically is like the only crop that can literally feed, food to fuel. It has all those capabilities, and it's a super crop, definitely. So our vision, basically, with Weaving Vibes, if you ask me what the vision is, there are two visions. The business vision is, since we're already into weaving and processing of the fabric, we feel there's a big need for spinning, to spin the right yarns, because currently the world is dependent only on China for sourcing of good quality yarns, because definitely they have a 30-year experience than any other country in that field. So to get the right spinning, the right rowing, retting processes, the right wet spinning. So I think that's where we as a business will eventually branch out, because as per weaving, we have a capacity of 280,000 meters approximately per month. So I think that's good enough for now.
Okay, can you repeat those numbers? I want to hear, and what does that equate to? What's that mean for consumers or somebody that's not in the space?
So basically, our setup is a B2B setup. So we have a manufacturing setup that can cater to around 250,000 to 280,000 meters of hemp fabric. So that's our setup. So we are actually going after big brands who we feel can actually build a change, can build awareness, can drive, consumers to think in a different way. Because 100 small companies can't make a change that one H&M or one, other company can, just launch a line worldwide with, sustainable collection. So we are ready for that. We have the in-house manufacturing capabilities for that. We're just looking for collaborations. We're looking for brands to reach out and trying to, give hemp a chance.
Okay, so I've got a question. As we've talked about this space, right? Understanding you're in the weaving, so you're buying your yarn, right? Can you talk to me about some of the challenges that we're facing, especially on a global scale, for that piece, the spinning, taking the fiber to a quality raw material into a yarn and then into weaving?
Correct. So right now, the process of getting the fiber and converting into spinning is, I feel, the major gap in this industry right now. Because putting up a spinning mill is exhaustive in terms of finance. So it's not everyone's cup of tea to go around putting up a spinning mill. So, yeah.
That's
so
it
is. Even for weaving, but spinning is even a larger kind of a game. You need a lot of manpower in there, good amount of technical knowledge. So that is the gap that we feel is what we want to fill in. And in terms of fiber, there are a couple of countries producing good long staple fibers. So we prefer to only buy long staple fibers because the quality of fabric comes out much, much superior and better.
When you say long staple fibers, what are those? What are the standards? What is long? Like when I think long, I'm thinking, but really we're talking about 2 inches?
Yes, I think 36, 42 millimeters plus.
Okay.
That's what we're looking at. And currently, India has legalized 2 states in India to grow hemp. So these 2 states have been growing hemp, but not to the quality for textiles. Most of the plants are just being used for, cosmetics or medicinal purposes right now. And, the textile industry also requires hectares and hectares of hemp to grow, to be, churned into fiber and then into yarn and XYZ. So I feel we are at the brim of changing, because hemp is such a robust crop. It can grow in so many different climatic conditions. So I feel it's a great bet for India to start with the growing and then get into the spinning.
Yeah. Amy made a great comment. The global gap is in the spinning. Great to hear of your plans. Fingers crossed for your success. Yes.
Thank you.
This is something that we talk about all the time in this next step. And as we talk to brands on behalf of Global Hemp Association, these same topics come up. And so, it's always good. So talk to me about some of the greatest challenges that you've been able to overcome. What have been some really good successes, especially in this last couple of years, as you're really manufacturing or processing your?
I mean, there were many great success. I think every step is a success for me since the day I formed the company till now. Because manufacturing hemp fabric was just a dream for me. I didn't know if I could. And then it came to the stage, how can you? And then if you can, who will buy it? And there were so many stages. So definitely the first stage was sourcing the right yarn. Second stage was weaving. But I feel the biggest breakthrough we've had is understanding how versatile the fabric is. It's not just to the apparel sector, is what most of the fabrics cater to. So we feel hemp can be used in such different industries, and we have kind of tuned our manufacturing capabilities in such a way that we can make a fine 90 GSM, which is a very fine hemp fabric, to the thickest 340 GSM canvas fabric. So with that kind of a range, we can supply to many industries. And what another USP that we've developed is that we are 100% made to order. So if anyone that's dealt with hemp fabric previously, they know that whenever they talk to any manufacturer, there's a set list of products that you get. That these are the products, this is what we have in stock, choose from this. So as a buyer, your limitations reduce and you lower your kind of standards in a way, or your designs in a way, to choose from what's available. So we've broken that in terms of we do 100% made to order. We sit with the brands, ask them what the end use is. Is it a pillow cover? Is it a curtain? Is it a shirt? And then we work backwards with them in terms of what Pantone shades do you want to play with? What kind of finishes do you want? Do you want a stiff, a soft finish? Then we tell them what blends. So either you can go for hemp and cotton, you can go for hemp and tencel, hemp and bamboo, hemp and lyocell. The list goes on. You can even blend 4-5. You can do hemp, bamboo, cotton, and lyocell. So when you give this flexibility to the brand, they feel very comfortable in working. Also, we work with very small MOQs. We work with 500 meters a batch. So what in this entire field, when we put up, it's a funny story, but we put up the industry to cater to big brands, and we realize big brands don't really care right now. The people who care are smaller boutiques, are smaller brands, are small fashion designers. So then we had to change our entire, strategy to get into smaller MOQs, because everyone wants 500 meters in 12 colors, but we want 5,000 meters per color, because that's my setup. So we've kind of tuned ourselves to help other startups like myself also start somewhere.
Okay, I like this. This is exciting. Do you have, in fact, I have to tell you, he sent me a pair of pants that it's absolutely beautiful fabric. I actually grabbed them and put them in a box because I'm taking them to NOCO with me. But do you have any fabrics that you can show some samples of? I see your pillow.
I actually want to talk about this.
Yeah.
So, like I mentioned, that Weaving Vibes is basically into innovating sustainable fabrics. So we not only manufacture sustainable fabrics, process them in a sustainable way, but we've also started printing in a sustainable way. So we've launched a new collection where we offer brands eco-printed fabric. By eco-printed, I mean we use the leaves and flowers found in nature. We put them on the fabric, imprint their colors, and imprint their designing onto the fabric. So I would just like to show you one.
Please, yes. And are you going to be at NOCO? Did you decide if you're going to be able to make it?
Yes, 100%. I've got a booth, booked everything, and we're definitely going to do this.
Okay, I'm excited. Ooh, pretty.
So this, if you can see, these are all leaves that have been printed and imprinted onto the fabric.
Oh, that's beautiful. I'm going to make your screen bigger. Oh, just.
So this is all done on 100% hemp fabric. We also have dyed fabric like this. So this is basically indigo dyed 100% hemp fabric. And we've used flowers and done the imprint. The prints that you see on this are small flowers that I've taken to do the prints. I don't know if you can see the leaf clearly. Can you see it, Mandi?
I can see it. It's beautiful. Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is something new that we've started. I mean, definitely we can do digital printing, screen printing, rotary printing, and all the general prints. But we've gone a step ahead, and we said, since we are manufacturing natural fabrics, why not print with nature, with what nature's given? So we go all around India, North India to South India, source different flowers like marigold flower, rose flowers, petals, and different smaller kind of niche plants, and we get that back, and then we do a R&D and kind of see. So the beauty in this is that you never get the same print again and again, because the flowers are and everything.
We do cannabis leaves?
We I didn't want to show you that because that's what I'm getting at NOCO. So if you want to see the cannabis leaf prints, I'll show you those in NOCO.
Come to NOCO. That is so cool. Are you going to bring some of those pieces of fabrics also?
And many more.
Many more. Oh, they're beautiful. I love the leaves. I love how detailed they are. You can see each little cracks and veins.
It's beautiful.
It's so cool. Well, awesome. Okay, so fabrics. You've got those fabrics. You're going to bring a bunch to NOCO. How do people get in touch with you if they want to connect? I know we saw your website. You want to let people know how do people reach out if they're interested in ordering or collaborating?
So you can get in touch with us via email. So I can
share it for you.
Yep, you can share the email address. Also, what we have done is this is another kind of bridge that we've kind of overcome, is where we found a huge gap of designers who for whom bulk is 50 meters or 100 meters and who wanted to buy only 5 meters and 10 meters. So for them, we've built an e-commerce website, which is on www.weavingvibes.com, where we're opening it up worldwide right now, where anyone from the world can buy 2 meters up to 50 meters of all the fabrics that we have. They can dye it themselves at home, experiment, make some dresses, make some shirts, and then get back for bulk orders.
That's awesome. Okay, so you'll have fabrics. We had another comment ask. You'll have fabrics for sale at NOCO. I want some of your leaf print fabric. It's beautiful.
The thing is, I would love to carry that much. Only my regular stuff is going to be 40 to 50 kilos, so I don't know if I can get all the fabrics, but I definitely am carrying a lot of samples. And
it's a great place to get on. They can get on and order it right from your site at that point. So
exactly, right from the site, right over there at NOCO, and we'll have it delivered within 10 to 12 days.
Okay, so talk to me about, you're obviously operating in India, right? Are you planning to bring operations to scale outside of India anywhere?
Yes. I mean, since we started, we haven't actually sold any fabric in India. We're completely export based.
Okay.
So we have some clients. We have actually 2 clients in Mexico who are using our fabric to make shoes. So they're making the upper layer of the shoe. Then we have a lot of clients in Australia and New Zealand. Those 2 countries are, booming and asking for hemp fabric weekly. So we are definitely in America also. We did a trial run with Amazon where we were approached by Amazon for our fabrics. And I essentially told them that we are B2B. I don't understand who's going to buy 2-meter cuts on Amazon because Amazon's a D2C market. And he said, no, it's so interesting. It's so new. So put it on. So I think yesterday or day before we actually sold out on Amazon. So the shipment will come. But if anyone does want to buy fabric, you can get on. We are on Amazon USA, Amazon Europe, and in Mexico.
Oh, cool. Good for you. What great progress. This is exciting.
That's also available for anyone to purchase straight from Amazon. So that with Prime delivery, I think is less than 48 hours to your doorstep. But we don't have the eco prints over there. That I'll be carrying. So that we'll have it up there soon.
Awesome. Well, I would love to attest support. We've said for a long time, especially for our members, to be able to add links or backlinks from our site and our, we've got a Shopify account on another business that we link together to. But I would love to help, promote product. One of the best ways that we're going to grow this industry is getting the product into consumers' hands. And so the more consumer products that are made, the better we have of people touching it and understanding it. And especially seeing the difference in a polyester to a hemp or a rayon and a hemp, right? Linen.
Yeah. Believe me, I had a lot of issues in terms of, it's like these pillows you see behind me. I don't make the pillows, but there's a brand who wanted pillows. So they said, can you make the fabric? We made the fabric. They're like, we don't know how it's going to look in pillows. Can you make some pillows? So we had to print the fabric, make some pillows and give it. Then he came back saying, you only make the pillow. I said, no. I said, I can prototype. So we do a lot of prototyping for a lot of brands because like you said, they don't exactly know how the product is going to turn out. And then comes the question of after use. Of washing this pillow 50 times, how does it feel after that? How is the print after that? So there's so many questions that we have to help them with and guide them through the entire process. So I think that's where my basic and Weaving Vibes builds a relation with any brand it works with, because it's so hand in hand that it's a beautiful kind of a synchronicity that's happening.
It's awesome. So we've got a question, Dave Canby. It's good to see you. Where do you source your hemp fiber, raw hemp from? And you're not sourcing raw hemp, you're buying the yarn, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
As of now, we have sourced fibers. I have done trials in India with some big spinning mills who are already manufacturing and spinning a lot of linen. So it was kind of similar over there, but we didn't succeed. But we have been successful in making blends. So a 70 cotton, 30 hemp, a 70 XL, 30 hemp, a 70 lyocell, 30 hemp is what we've made, but we've not managed to cross the 30 hemp threshold is what we're trying to get at. So currently we're sourcing the yarns from Indian traders itself who are globally sourcing. So China is a big player in this currently. We're buying a lot of yarn from a state in India called Uttarakhand, which is being made from this Himalayan hemp yarn, which I think has become really famous. So Himalayan hemp yarn is also a really good yarn, but we're having the same problem where we're not getting 100% hemp yarn. We're only able to manufacture blends. So that's why while speaking to you, I said we need a spinning unit which can manufacture, if not better quality, as at least the same quality that China is delivering right now. So That is the benchmark.
Absolutely. Well, and of course, that's what we're seeing as a challenge over here, right? Is getting the quality of fiber we need into the spinning mills. Can you talk to me a little bit different for those that are unfamiliar with differences in linen and hemp or some of these other fabrics or materials?
Correct. So that's a question I keep getting from a lot of brands that are already in cotton who want to shift to hemp, but they don't know why they should shift to hemp. It's just everyone's talking about hemp, so we should do it. and they're like, can you explain? I'm like, you should have done your research. But then again, we have to help them out. So I break it down into two reasons. One is the farmers, the benefit that the farmers get. And the second is the garments and the disposal of the garments. So if I have to, start with the farmers, I would start by saying the way it benefits them is, firstly, hemp grows really fast. So the yield time that they have, the turnaround time they have compared to cotton or linen is much faster. Secondly, hemp is one of those crops that replenishes the soil. So they don't have to spend too much in adding nutrients back to the soil. The third main point is it requires a lot less water. I would say 1/3 the amount of water that cotton requires. So in those terms, their expenditure on bringing water, on using water as a natural resource, which is now also, not in abundance like it was before. So that also helps the farmer. Fourth, and the most important reason is hemp doesn't require a sand pesticide. So it doesn't require a lot of fertilizers. So not only is the farmer's health not at risk, but again, it helps in terms of finances. And hemp, as we all know, absorbs carbon dioxide. Hemp is considered carbon negative, as we all know it sucks in the carbon from the air and converts it into like leaves, plants, and all. So, hemp has been shown to absorb more CO2 per hectare than any forest or commercial crop. So there are several benefits on the growing aspect of hemp. Then when we come onto the fabric aspect of hemp, hemp is definitely inherently UV resistant and antibacterial in nature. That's why I love to promote it for kids wear. Second reason is hemp gets softer and stronger every time you wash it. So in longevity, being the strongest natural fiber, the cycles that a hemp garment would go through would last longer than any cotton or linen garment. Also, hemp, I have read, felt, and experienced, absorbs color also in a much better way than cotton and linen.
Okay, so I was going to ask you about that.
Correct. So in those terms, when you're doing prints, when you're working with dyes, the color pickup and the fastness in terms of dry rubbing, wet rubbing is much superior than cotton. And overall, with so many benefits, I wonder why fashion industry isn't picking up hemp, the way it should and promote it. But these are the main two reasons why, from the agricultural aspect as well as from the garment aspect, are the two reasons why hemp is definitely superior than cotton and linen, in my reasoning.
Yeah. Well, and you hear all the time about the textiles, the garments that everybody has, that they've had them for 10 years and they actually feel better. Or the people that say, well, the first year that I wore it, it was a little bit tough, but now it's my 10th year in and I love it. It's my favorite shirt.
That's because hemp is like wine. The more you age it, the better it gets, right? So the more you wash it, the more you use it, it just keeps getting better and better.
I love it. I love it. I love it. There was a comment here made. Thank you guys, everybody, for joining. We've had lots of great comments and I've tried to share them, but thank you, Amy and Ron and Laura, Thatcher and Dave. Great features to know about hemp. We should coin hemp as a positive impact crop. It's kind of funny that, as the climate smart commodities and the greenhouse gases are at such a topic of conversation from the governments and on a global scale, hemp is right at the forefront of those discussions. So it's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so talk to me about when people think textiles, right? A lot of times people are only thinking textiles clothing, right? When we're talking about textile fibers and opportunities to be using materials in different products, right? What about like the auto industry and so can you speak a little bit about some of those materials that may be fed from hemp?
That's another very exciting industry that we are also looking into, is the auto industry.
Yeah.
See, you need to understand fabric is used in so many different industries that it is just a matter of looking at it if it can be replaced with a sustainable product or not. And most of the times the answer is yes. And the answer is it's definitely better than yes. So the automobile industry is 100% a great industry to start with. in terms of there's so many, like Tesla. I would love Tesla, since you're already in the sustainability field, you're manufacturing EV cars, you have to have all your materials inside, which I hope is sustainable. If not, these are the people, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Volvo, that has, vouched to go by 2030 all electric. So these are the companies that I feel today or tomorrow will look into this. It's the same, like I never thought of, manufacturing duffel bag fabric. I never thought I would be manufacturing fabric for a company, like a Converse kind of a company that is using fabric to make shoes. But it takes those brands to make that shift in mind, to realize that. And then we are sitting here, I'm ready to make, So
it's so exciting. Like, this is just a topic that for the last 2 years, when I started this, really the textiles arm of our discussions took off, and we gained a ton of traction and a lot of people interested. But it's been a slow process to be able to bring the mechanics side, or the processing side or that second piece of processing, right? After decortication, when you're cottonizing fiber or cleaning the lignin and pectin off, right? So it's exciting to see it, really, really take off. Let's see. So when we talk about trends, right, when this first started, there was a lot of concern also in, is this just another bamboo? Is this another product that's going to grow quick? It's supposed to be, sequestering all this carbon, this huge benefit, but then a major pain in the butt or toxic for processing. So can you speak a little bit about what you see? And I think we've touched on it, but just to dive in more.
So I feel for all these questions, there are institutes like GOTS, Okiotex, FSC that are placed in position to make sure there is transparency, to make sure that there is no one in the middle that, goes a little off, or who can manipulate, the process in any way. So, and there's also faith, right? At the end, how much can you monitor? There is a limit to that. So I just feel like how you spoke about bamboo, I think hemp is not going to go the same direction. I think it's going to be really approved in the market. People are really going to understand it, and especially in today's day and age, where we are so aware of what is happening, where there's so much of pollution happening, be it the ocean, be it the landfills, or be it just generally, cars creating pollution. Everyone, especially the younger generation, is very aware and is asking for environmentally sustainable products, not only for clothing, but in general. In hemp, if we talk about, there's soap, there's shampoo, there's cosmetics, there's clothes. You can literally live, you can wake up in the morning and sleep only with hemp products. There's a whole line. So it's just about you choosing that and you not choosing, something sustainable. And your point of pricing, I do agree that the prices for anything sustainable is higher than the non-sustainable product. But that is only because of acceptance, is that these non-sustainable products are manufactured in such large quantity, advertised at such mass scale, that if the same kind of audience or the same kind of time was given to sustainable products, it's going to, be accepted in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, absolutely. So I hope if there's any questions from anybody else, chime in. I'd love to hear from you. So talk to me a little bit about who are those who fits into that box that may really get behind the industry and push this into big brands, right? Who are we looking at as an industry to really say, get behind us and, help take this to that next level, to that big scale?
So in today's world, where everything is driven by social media, where big brands have such a volume of followers, and there are some blind followers that won't ask a question, but their favorite brand has said this, so they'll take it as writing on a stone, right? So the only people who have this audience can actually make the noise. So these are the people that need to come up and not do it to just show that we are also sustainable, but actually pick it up, with their goal and motive behind making, the world a better place. It's honestly, global warming is a real thing. It is happening. The world is hot. We need to cool it down. And, sustainability is a choice today. It might not be tomorrow. So let's not wait till we reach that stage. Just wake up and understand, what are you eating? What are you wearing? How are you, breathing?
And vote with your dollar, right? We have an impact by where we spend our dollar. And a lot of it's been, like I said, for me, I was so disconnected to where everything, I just was not aware of the supply chain and how broken it was, and the people that were, the labor that was going into it. And James just made a really good comment. He said, isn't it wrong to say that it's more or that it's more expensive if it's better, stronger, and lasts longer? In fact, it's just cheaper, right?
That's 100% right, James. That's what I also believe in. And that's what I was telling Mandi, the same thing as an example of a shopping bag. That whatever you purchase with hemp, I would say last your lifetime, probably go on to your next generation as well. And when they dispose it off, it's not even going to harm the environment. So I take back my words. It's wrong to say it's more expensive. It's actually 100% definitely not only cheaper, but also healthier to adapt to this for you and the environment as well. So there are a lot of people that I say, you spend, say, 8 hours or 6 hours of your day sleeping on your bed sheet with your face touching your pillow. So you should be very concerned with what that material is. So in that, we say that we're promoting a lot of hemp fabric in that, with its, antibacterial benefits, that, this should be appreciated and should be highly accepted, as because a lot of people don't think about the bed sheets. Everyone wants like the cheapest bed sheet with the best print. But we are trying to get people to ask a question: what is this bed sheet made of? My skin is going to be touching it for 6 to 8 hours. Is this good for my skin? Is this good for my body? So these are all questions, and definitely only when the customers ask are the brands going to answer. They're not going to come out and give you answers on their own. So it's for us to ask. It's like Mandi, you said, we decide where we spend our dollar. So we should ask before we spend our dollar. You're right.
Our consumers voting, right? The pollution is piling up, and it's right in our faces, and it's affecting us so much more than it has in the past.
I would like to answer Robert's question, where he said the blends don't hold up as long, maybe 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
So in this also, Robert, we've kind of found a way to make the blends work. Actually, what happens in spinning is, when you try to make, say, a hemp cotton or a hemp lyocell intimate blended yarn, where you're blending at the fiber stage. At that stage, even however strong the hemp fibers are, the CSP level of those yarns are very poor, even poorer than 100% cotton yarn. That's because when they are blended, the properties sometimes don't add up to bring about the strength and the quality. So even if, Robert, I hope you're coming to NOCO. So we are going to have a lot of blends. In our blends, you'll notice are a little different in terms of we use 100% both ways. So if I'm blending hemp with bamboo, I'll be not using an intimate hemp blended, intimate hemp bamboo blended yarn, but I'll use 100% hemp yarn and 100% bamboo yarn. With that, yeah.
And then spin it. Okay.
Yeah. So with that, when fiber to yarn is happening, all the characteristics, all the properties, all the strengths are mentioned. And then when you put it on the weaving machine, weave it, process it, it comes out strong. And that's when, you will have a better life cycle to the fabric.
That's great. What great feedback. I've heard that so often, about the blends. And I think what you just addressed is something that's probably not shared very often, about, blending two different fibers compared to same fiber.
Probably we will in the future. We will, with technology, get to that stage where we will find an answer for this as well. But currently, in my experience of manufacturing, I've found is what Robert said, that the intimate blends don't kind of come out to the right parameters of a non-intimate blended fabric.
Amy made a really good point. For those of you that don't know Amy, she's a rock star in this industry and a huge value add to so many students up in Montana and professionals within this industry. But James Doyle, he's another rock star in the auto industry. But the business model and structures within the industry need to be shifted more on the B2B side and the B2C side. Awareness needed on the cost of the activities. What do you think it's going to take to get that message out there so that the buyer understands that the dollar t-shirt has a much heavier impact on the people and our environment compared to, say, a more sustainably made product that may cost more?
Correct. So I think now that gap is bridging. It's where before we as manufacturers had to really go out of the way to convince the brands. Now it's we going half and the brands coming halfway. Now, if you notice the shift that is happening, a lot of brands are understanding the impact of the fabrics they're making. They are understanding what they're consuming and what they're selling. So they, I feel, are halfway coming down this side where they are looking for opportunities, looking for manufacturers, looking for different fabrics that even they can offer to their customers. So it's a very exciting time because there's so much.
The consumer's driving this, right? And the consumer now is willing to pay. They're willing to pay more money, and especially these younger generations that, like I said, are being impacted by the detriment of what has happened or the lack of concern about the impact in the last few years, 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
Yep.
That's awesome. Awesome. So what can the industry do to support your growth? What are you looking for, and how can we really jump in and support you?
I mean, I am always, as I said, we're always into innovations. So I'm always looking for newer yarns, for different kind of blends, for different strengths, different, colors. So we are doing a lot of yarn dyeing now. So there are some yarns that catch color, some don't. So we're trying to figure out, what is the play there as well. So what we are actually looking for is two things: a lot of raw material supply, a lot of help on that side, in terms of yarn or in terms of fiber. Because as I mentioned, we are thinking of putting up the spinning plant. So we are already doing a lot of trials in terms of, where to get our fibers, which is the best fiber, which is the best quality of fiber. So that is one aspect. The second aspect is in brands kind of wanting and taking a chance with hemp and creating a collection. So I'm always promoting and offering anyone and everyone that we are 100% made to order. We make customized fabrics. So there is, even though you're from the kids wear, the women's wear, the men's wear, you can approach us. If you're from the luggage department, you can approach us. If you're from home decor, we are here for you. And we, like Mandi mentioned, we also want to get into automobiles. So we are basically, our year Weaving Vibes goal is basically to be a pioneer and aggregator in this, sustainable living space. We're not here for the buck. We're here to create something that the future generations will benefit from. And we're always with open hands. And the whole idea is to build, this holistic, like you spoke about the community. In India, the community is growing every day and how, but it is still unorganized. It is scattered. For me, per se, like we mentioned, I also want Weaving Vibes to be a holistic brand. So my invoices, my challans are all printed on 100% hemp paper. Then I look around searching for hemp packaging. So the community breeds. I have a lot of companies where I'm supplying 100% hemp uniforms to. So, and they are into the CBD space, but they also want a holistic kind of approach to their company. So they've also shifted to hemp paper. They want hemp uniforms. They want now hemp shoes. We've also approached the hotel industry where, the slippers that you get in every hotel room. Yeah. So we said that it's about time you switch to sustainable slippers, and there is a variety of options, and it's at a very nominal cost. So avenues are many, and we are always open with arms. So anyone willing to try, give hemp a chance, or anything you want to manufacture, we're here for you.
Okay, so you've got my wheels spinning, and there's tons of people I want to connect you to. Dave was on earlier, especially when you're talking about sourcing raw material and really moving into that piece of it. He's doing some incredible things. And then what would next steps be if somebody wants to start manufacturing or selling product? especially like your pillows or your bags or backpacks. Are you just selling fabric, or you actually have those end products that say I could post on my website and start selling?
So currently we're only doing fabrics. We're not selling the final products, but we're supporting brands that want to sell final products. So if there's anyone out there that has an idea, that wants to start a company, that has a product in mind but doesn't know the A to Z of sourcing that product, of how is it going to be, then I am here to help you out with all of that. I will send you like these, the final product, and I will help you with all the manufacturing, with all the contacts and everything. That's basically what Weaving Vibes is here to do, is here to help other brands build their their market, or other entrepreneurs start their businesses. So pillows, if you want, I can make a few for you and get them. That's not a problem. But we're definitely not getting into full scale manufacturing of the end product.
How
So
about
there's
this?
so much happening in fabric already. I just want to be I don't want to be a jack of all trades. I just want to pioneer this first. Yeah.
But you've built these connections, right? I think what would be great is, as you come up with, or we've got new clients that are selling, send them our way. Let's connect them through our network so we can help distribute their product as much as we can. And then I'm going to put this out there. Your calendar is probably going to fill up for NoCo, because there's quite a few people on here that are saying, hey, we want to connect and I want to learn more. And so reach out to their team, let them know what you're working on. Set up a time, come by their booth in NoCo. If you're going to be at the awards banquet, which I'd love to have you there, especially after this, we'll make sure that you get on or are able to come. It's a beautiful dinner on Thursday night. It's a formal dinner, but I think it's 3 or 4 course meal at a beautiful location within the hotel, but at a really nice, upscale meal. And so we're excited about highlighting people that are doing it right in the industry, really making an impact and doing things just like you are, really leading the charge. So thank you.
Thank you, Mandi, for your kind words.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, well, anything else before we sum up or we close up? It's already been almost an hour.
I think we covered everything. One thing that what you mentioned about brands and how they can reach out and what they can do. So we've had a lot of inquiries in India as well, because a lot of small brands that do eventually make products, they come back to us saying, we're not able to sell it. Can you help us even sell this? So actually, in the month of April, we are organizing an event in Mumbai in India, where we are bringing in several brands from building material to apparels to medicine to cosmetics to packaging, all these different brands, and we're bringing them under one roof, because not only do they kind of eventually need each other in terms of where I mentioned the holistic image, but also there needs this community to come together and get organized. Everyone is scattered, and there's so many people who don't know, who want to live sustainably but have no idea of where do I get information from, who do I contact, where do I buy these products, what are the benefits of these products. So we are basically doing an event to promote awareness, to make people understand that there is a better choice, and these are the better choices. Here are the people who are making changes in giving you a better choice. So that is one thing that I feel really takes up. And then I want to go around the world with these brands and just build and exhibit, because it's all about awareness, right? What you're doing, talking to so many people every day, the goal is to connect and build awareness, because it's all about getting to know. Once you get to know, then you'll think about whether I want or not.
Okay, well, I think I have India on my list now of places to travel to, because I would love to come and visit and support however we can, of course. So thank you so much. Thank you everybody for joining. There's still lots of comments coming in. Jump on our LinkedIn page or YouTube channel and you'll be able to reply or see any other comments that we may have missed. Thanks everybody for joining. We do not have a meeting until next week. In fact, I was just going to look at my calendar and highlight when we do have our next. But I do want to remind everybody, it looks like I've got another one right after this. I forgot, like our cannabis news hub, which is really cool. Brad is one of our members, and it's a platform that allows you to get in and search all news and media. They had partnered with Newsbank, which is a bank of news, but specifically focused on the hemp and cannabis industry. And they have articles from the 1800s. So you can get in and see on your census, back in the day, you used to have to report how many acres of hemp you grew, and it's all available online. So pretty exciting. But thank you so much, everybody, for joining, and we'll log off for now and see you next time.
Thank you, Mandi.
Absolutely. For sure. We'll talk soon.
Yep. See you soon.